Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, another Tyranid Learning Curve for you, another Elite's Choice, and today we're looking at the Maleceptor. Now I really like this model. I think it looks awesome. I think I like it better than the Toxicrene version. Of course mine is all magnetized, so I can swap out for both options. But today we're looking at the Maleceptor. So this guy is 205 points. Stat wise, let's have a quick look. So he's weapon skill 3 and ballistic skill 3, strength 6, toughness 6, he has 5 wounds, he's initiative 3 with 3 attacks, leadership 10, and he has a 4+ save. Now he does have psychic barrier, which gives him a 5+ invulnerable save, which is pretty nice to have. A monstrous creature, a Tyranid creature even, with a 5+ invulnerable save is very nice indeed, because we don't tend to get invulnerable saves very often. But it's that 4+ save which is his Achilles heel really. Yes, he's got a reasonable amount of wounds, 5 wounds, and yes, he's got a pretty good toughness 6. But as soon as you do get hit, and let's face it, there's lots of specialist weapons out there that can take out monstrous creatures. I mean, the last time I played him, I got hit by Stern Guard. But you know, missile launchers and las cannons and grav cannons, etc., can easily take this big guy down. And it's probably fair to say that the Toxicrene version, which is quite a bit cheaper in points, is actually probably a lot better. But we need to look at this guy. So he's got scything talons, and that's pretty much it. So in close combat, he's got 3 attacks, 4 on the charge. Not that great, but he's not really a close combat creature. The main thing about this guy is that he's a psychic beast, potentially. So let's have a look at his psychic powers. He knows the psychic overload power. He's a psychic with mastery level 2, so he can pick one other power from the hive mind powers, and of course he gets the Primaris power for free. Now he is a synapse creature, so you can obviously give him a 18-inch synapse range, which is quite nice. Now the psychic overload, which is main psychic power, is a warp charge 2, and right off that is one of your problems, because you're going to need to throw quite a lot of dice at this guy to get his psychic powers out. You know, you've got to roll 2 4s to get his psychic overload out. Now the psychic overload is a pretty decent power, but it's not actually that amazing. Basically it's a 24-inch range, which is pretty good, and your target takes a leadership check on 3d6. Now you can target vehicles as well, and the vehicle will be classed as leadership 10. Now if the test is failed, your opponent or that unit suffers D3 wounds with no armor saves or cover saves allowed. Now if it's a vehicle, it just suffers a single glancing hit with no cover saves allowed. So you've got to get 2 4s to start off to get the psychic power out, and then you've got to assume that your opponent is going to fail their leadership, and then you've got to roll a dice, a D3, to see how many things you kill. So it's either going to be, I mean, a maximum of 3 guys is what you're going to kill, and that's if you're lucky and roll a 5 or a 6 on that single dice. So the killing potential not that great. Now it does have the ability to shoot or to use that psychic power on 3 different units. So you can use that power 3 times. So if you are able to get this guy in close quarters to several units, that could be quite a good option. But you're going to need a very big pool of dice to do that, because like I said, it's warp charge 2, so you're going to need a good amount of dice to be able to use it 3 times, and potentially use the other psychic powers that you're going to have with him as well. So he's a big sink of psychic powered dice. So your options are really to take other stuff that maybe support that ability. For example, like the Zoanthropes brood that we've previously discussed, where you can bring that unit down, use the Neurothropes to get some warp charge dice for the zoanthropes, so when they're doing their warp blasts, you're not eating up the pool dice for the Maleceptor. So little things like that potentially could help you out. Now, he's obviously a synapse creature, as I said, and he has the Shadow of the Warp, you know, all those usual Tyranid goodies. But I think his main issue is that he's going to use your pool of psychic powers dice up quite a lot. It's pretty expensive. You're going to need a pod with him as well for sure. You're not going to be plodding this guy across the board. You're going to need a pod to bring him. And although he's got quite reasonable stats, that 5+ save, invulnerable save, and a 4+ normal save doesn't really mean a great deal. To be fair, it's going to go down pretty quickly to dedicated monstrous creature weapons. And let's face it, there's a lot of those around. Obviously, small arms fire is going to have issues against it, toughness 6. But as I said, there's going to be a lot of weapons around that is going to take this guy out quite easily. You know, even if you had, if you had a 3+ save with a 5+ invulnerable, potentially a bit more survivable. But yeah, 4+ it's just not going to happen really. So it's a bit negative, unfortunately, about this guy, and I think that's one of the things about having a dual kit model like this one, where you've got the Toxicrene or the Maleceptor. What tends to happen is one of those versions becomes, you know, is better than the other one, and it sort of dampens the Maleceptor. Because you've got the options to build both, and yes, I've magnetised mine, but I probably would imagine a lot of people would just take the Toxicrene, you know, wouldn't even bother with this guy. I have bothered with it, I have tried to use him, but yeah, very, very quickly came to the conclusion that Toxicrene is so much better. Okay, so that's it for this guy. Hope you enjoyed the video, and watch out for the next one. Thanks for watching.